What's going on, everybody? This is the Blockchain Backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. Highly volatile day out here in the cryptocurrency market as the news of FTX's insolvency sends shockwaves throughout the market. Bitcoin over here on Coinbase has set a new low. We can look over here to see that the low set back in June was at 17,568, wicking itself just below to grab some stop losses to 17,501. This morning, I put out a video discussing everything going on with CZ Binance and FTX and that all the drama in there. If you missed the video earlier today discussing what appeared to be a margin level for FTX and the worries of insolvency seemed to be true. I had uploaded my video. I had to take my video down, include the part in there about SBF announcing that Binance is going to acquire FTX. Then eventually saw what CZ Binance has to say. He says, this afternoon, FTX asked for our help. There is significant liquidity crunch. To protect users, we signed a non-binding LOI intending to fully acquire FTX.com and help cover the liquidity crunch. We will be conducting a full DD in the coming days. There's a lot to cover and will take some time. This is a highly dynamic situation and we are assessing the situation in real time. Binance has the discretion to pull out from the deal at any time. We expect FTT to be highly volatile in the coming days as things develop. Stay safe. And on the news of FTX being insolvent, the FTT token has dived even more, down to $3, dragging the whole cryptocurrency market with it, and with Bitcoin officially setting a new low. So this becomes incredibly concerning for crypto, for Bitcoin, as it now raises the concerns, in addition to all of these stops getting triggered here, of what's going to happen with all the margin for FTX. How much do they have? What are the problems? Because FTX is the second largest exchange in the world, and they have just gone insolvent. Now, FTT token at $2.85. Solana, as we discussed earlier in the video this morning about Alameda having it on its balance sheet, about $1 billion worth. We can see Solana is taking the hit as well, and really the whole crypto market. Now, we've been discussing a pullback for the XRP price chart ever since it's broken out. Wyckoff accumulation will typically take you back to the sign of strength. And we can see that in this chaotic moment, XRP went even deeper than that. Currently, it's sitting at 38.70. It's kind of had a moment to kind of pause out here. It did get bought up a little bit. Looking at the volume over here on Binance. However, it's still a highly volatile situation out here. And when we see things like FTT drop, at one point it was 87%. We have Bitcoin setting a new low in this environment. Has the feelings of need to see the dust settle here. And not so sure if it really has yet. Now, of course, you would have to say, oh yeah, sure you put that there, Blockchain Backer. But I've had this line here for Doge, waiting for Doge to pull back to this line. And, you know, it's like I've never showed it on my channel, so it would be like, okay, yeah, sure you did. And we just perfectly nailed that for Doge. So that's a pretty good sign to see that. But since I didn't show it on the channel, why would I use that as the area that I'm like, hey, looks like a good spot for Doge to pull back? And it's the same justification on XRP. This is your 37 to 39 cent price zone. So that's the area we're looking for a pullback on XRP. And you can see it just pinpoint nailed it here for Doge. To see examples of that happening, this is what we talked about on Bitcoin's Wyckoff accumulation backtest, right? Extreme violent backtest that pulls back to that level and then settles, right? So that's kind of where we're at right now. Is this thing going to settle, or are we going to see fallout happen like we saw happen for Luna and UST, the third-party counterparty risks and the things that unwound afterwards? So that's kind of where we're at for FTX at this point. But nice to see confluence of one zone that I had marked here, which was Doge, the pullback after the Wyckoff accumulation breakout. Notice right into the sign of strength. XRP, was this just a moment in time that got too aggressive from all the chaotic liquidations and margin calls that just happened in this moment? It's possible. And we can see right now, it's not like it's gotten through and staying down there. It's still kind of holding above that level at this point. So it'll be a monitor situation throughout the day. But we can see here's your sign of strength level. That's the one we've been talking about. Notice during the chaos, boom, a pinpoint nail here. I'd say the biggest concern, though, for Bitcoin, unless this is just, a margin call situation or something like that, that's just going to kind of recover on its own, it doesn't look too promising for Bitcoin to go set a new low. Remember, throughout history, this has not happened before. that you pull down this deep, you go this oversold, you have the 50-week, 100-week moving average crosses, you have the monthly time frame get to where it's at. Every single element of looking at how Bitcoin bottoms have happened has already happened. So to go set a new low doesn't create too much optimism there for Bitcoin right now. So for me, for Bitcoin, is definitely a sit back and just kind of watch what happens here for Bitcoin. I just went and checked my stops to see if they did get triggered. Fortunately, they still haven't gotten triggered yet. Got very close to getting them triggered. However, they haven't yet. So I'm just going to leave that untouched and see if the market decides to take it or if this was really kind of the massive flush. But if you're to think of what FTT token is, personally, for me, it feels like it's another one of these Solana situations, or this is another one of those Luna situations. And the question is going to be if Solana is going to be in the same boat as that, due to Solana being FTX's or Sam Bankman-Fried's baby. Now, normally from a technical level, this is the level where the bottom should be. If you look back to XRP and how it had its big bull run as well, so you can kind of just stretch it out over time to see how that happened, right? Once the bear was officially over for XRP and the bottom was in, notice where we found our bottom at. That's where you are at right now with Solana. So from a technical level, it's finally reached it. It's finally there. Problem comes in of how affiliated Solana is with FTX and that they were using FTT for so much leverage. Will Solana suffer the same fate that happened here for FTT? So definitely a crazy moment out there in the markets. But, you look at it like that, optimistic, I guess. Hard to be optimistic right now. Like this is be real. This is an insane moment. XRP is catching somewhat of a bounce in here right now. So it did wick through that, but you could see that even what are we using? 15-minute candles, it was able to close within those regions at 37-cent area. Was this just a liquidation wick that happened in here? So this will be watched really closely, but also nice to see that, that's how Doge was able to get back to its Wyckoff accumulation sign of strength. So I'll be here all day, I'm sure. But hey, we're catching somewhat of a bounce right now. We'll see how things go. But I'm going to sit back and kind of say that this is a crazy day and let things kind of play themselves out for a minute. But it appears as though CZ Binance recognized a weakness in FTX, the second largest cryptocurrency exchange in the world, and seized the opportunity. So just in general, this really isn't that great for crypto, just from the bigger perspective of it. If it's true or if it's not true that, he recognized that and went for it and took out his competitor, or even if he accidentally did, to have that happen, this just isn't good for the crypto market to have FTX go insolvent like that overnight. So a lot of things happening, short amount of time, just in the last couple of hours, learning that FTX is insolvent, learning that CZ Binance may acquire them, and seeing at one point, I saw a negative 87% on here for FTT today. The thing to keep in mind that we learned from when Luna collapsed and when UST collapsed is the third parties that ended up being involved in this. So a lot of the problems, apparently, right? A lot of the problems that are happening here with FTT token is like we discussed in the video that I put out this morning, that it seems that they have a lot of their loans collateralized with the FTT token. So now you're going to have all these third parties who have been lending money or crypto or whatever they were lending to FTX. All of the collateral that was put down for these loans to these third parties, that collateral has now lost 80% of its value. And if we remember correctly, with Luna and UST, it was kind of like, okay, the dust has settled. And then what happened? Then you started seeing things like Celsius, you started seeing things like Three Arrows Capital, and then the other ones came out. So what appeared to be as if a timed attack by CZ Binance the day after we hit the 200-day moving average, and SBF saying, I know that there have been rumors in media of conflict between our two exchanges. However, Binance has shown time and time again that they are committed to more decentralized global economy while working to improve industry relations with regulators. We are in the best of hands, as if this was planned. And then Binance says, this afternoon, FTX asked for our help, which makes it obviously seem like there was an emergency over there at FTX. Highly volatile time right now. Definitely a situation of, for me at least, letting this all process for a minute. Because even if this is the bottom, it's just like, what's the rush? This is a chaotic moment. we'll let the dust kind of settle here for a minute because it's very volatile and very sketchy to see the second largest exchange in the world go under overnight. And here in the United States, it's the number one. So I'm glued to my desk, I'm glued to my chair and watching my screens and doing as much rushing around, trying to find as much information as I can. If I find anything of significant substance, I'll relay that to you guys. But crazy as it is, it looks like FTX has gone insolvent overnight. Unreal. So, all right. I'll check in with you guys again soon. Wanted to kind of follow up with what we talked about this morning to say, wow, it happened. But all right, that's going to be it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you could, please like this video and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you could be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.